Okay, so guys, in the last session we studied AIM standard equation of AIM, and if you recall, so it was AC cos 2 pi FCT plus AC KA MT cos 2 pi FCT. So the whole thing started from here only, okay? And if I take AC commons, it will become AC 1 plus KMT cos 2 pi FCT. Yes or no? And after that, we said that we'll do single tone modulation. So what is single tone modulation? I discussed single means one, tone means frequency. So single tone modulation becomes when you have only one frequency in the master signal. So there we took, m of t equal to, if you recall, AM cos 2 pi FMT. And then the whole equation changed to something else. We also discussed about power. So we calculated power. Just to give you the formula to recall, 1 plus mu square by 2. So the total power was PC 1 plus mu square by 2. Bandwidth, it was twice of FM. It will always be twice of FM in AM. And efficiency, the last thing we discussed was efficiency. Efficiency is useful power, which is sideband power upon total power. So if you just quickly see sideband power, if you look at here, it is PC mu square by 2 into PC 1 plus mu square by 2, which will give you what? Mu square upon 2 plus mu square. And then I took different values of mu, and basis that you got efficiencies, whether 33% or 20% like that, or 11% for mu equal to half. So like that we try to do these different things in the single tone modulation. I guess I also solved one question. That's what I recall. So guys, today's class agenda would be, today we'll be seeing that how we can use multi-tone modulation of AM. How can we take more than one frequency? After that, we'll do generation of AM signal, which I have mentioned on the top. So how we can generate AM signal, how we can do demodulation, and then we quickly go from AM to double sideband suppressed carrier. And if the time permits, we can also cover single sideband. But it depends on how we go in the class today. So guys, let's put the heading antenna currents. Antenna currents. Actually, antenna current is just an application of power calculation only. So whenever you have resistance of antenna known to you, there could be a question being asked that how you can find the transmitted current and the carrier current and all those related to the antenna of the communication system. So this is how we can formulate this. Let R represents the antenna resistance, and I subscript T is the antenna current, when amplitude modulated signal is radiated into the, you can see a block diagram, something like this. So this is your antenna, and the current is getting radiated into the free space. Okay, and you can call it as current as IT, and antenna resistance is denoted as R. Okay. Now we know that as we know that Pt equal to Pc1 plus mu square by 2. That we know from power. We also know that we can relate power equation to current like this. Yes or no, guys? P equal to I square into R. So if you do so, you can also write IT square into R equal to IC square into R 1 plus mu square by 2. R cancel. So you will get IT equal to IC root under 1 plus mu square by 2. Done. So this is the formula of antenna current. You can expect question on this formula. If you recall that this is somehow the same stuff that you will see in power generation. So rather than saying in power terms, we are discussing in antenna current form. We'll do a drill question on this. We'll get to know how we can solve questions. One more thing on this, guys. One thing I missed to write. IT is antenna current after modulation. Antenna current after modulation. And IC is antenna current before modulation. I think anyway this is clear, but just write it down. Now the question, drill question. You write an antenna current of an AM transmitter is 8 amperes before modulation and 8.5 amperes after modulation. Determine modulation index and efficiency. Come on. Solution. See, we know that IT equal to IC root under 1 plus mu square by 2. So we can write IT by IC root under 1 plus mu square by 2. So IT is equal to 8.5, IC is equal to 8, root under 1 plus mu square by 2. So if you solve, it will be 8.5 by 8 ka whole square. Square on both the sides, you will get 1 plus mu square by 2. And after solving this equation, you will get mu equal to approximately, which you have got 0.507. Okay, and if you take this mu 0.507 and try to find efficiency, it will be also approximately 11% something, 11.41%. So nothing you have to do, you have to use this formula mu square upon 2 plus mu square and you will get 11.4%. It's an easy one. Now guys, we'll start multi-tone modulation of AM signal. Okay. Multi-tone modulation of AM signal. Multitone modulation of AM signal. So the formula would be the basic one only, if you recall. Same formula. AC 1 plus Ka m of t cos 2 pi fct. And here, in place of this m of t, we'll substitute am1 cos 2 pi fm1t plus am2 cos 2 pi fm2t. Okay? And since we have more than one frequency, at some point we have to say which one is bigger frequency. So for that thing, I would say FM2 is greater than FM1, as this will create confusion while we'll be trying finding the bandwidth. So you want to be clear on that. So we have to say, okay, second message has the highest frequency as compared to message 1. So FM1 is less than FM2. Okay, now it's a straightforward calculation. So I will write S of t equal to AC 1 plus K AM1 cos 2 pi F1t plus Ka AM2 cos 2 pi FM2t whole cos 2 pi fct. Going further, we write S of t equal to AC cos 2 pi fct. Now guys, I am multiplying this to each term plus Ka AM AC, and this AM is AM1. So K AM1 AC cos 2 pi FM2t into cos 2 pi fct plus, similarly we can also write Ka AM2 AC cos 2 pi FM, guys, this is 1, sorry, this is 1, FM2t into cos 2 pi fct. This we can write it as mu1, and this we can write it as mu2. So we can rewrite S of t equal to AC cos 2 pi fct plus AC mu1 cos 2 pi fm1t cos 2 pi fct plus AC mu2 cos 2 pi fm2t into cos 2 pi fct. So I'm going to full detail, okay? I'm going to full details. Now looking at this, you know how the spectrum would look like. You know, we are seeing the first signal as a carrier signal. Second signal is carrier with message, like product of these two. And third is similarly same, message 2 into the carrier. So you know that one cos will give you two impulses. So it will give one impulse at the frequency, it will give two impulse, it will give two impulse, 2, 2 and 2. So you will have total 6 impulses in the right hand and as well as in the left hand. If I go one step more ahead, right, I just want to go one step ahead, you will see this then. S of t, now guys, I am going to apply 2 cos A cos B. So I will write AC cos 2 pi fct plus, Since you are going to multiply 2 and divide by 2, it will become AC mu1 by 2 cos 2 pi Fc plus Fm1t plus cos 2 pi Fc minus Fm1t. Need to rewrite again. So guys, I am rewriting again. Here on the top, it would be same AC cos 2 pi FCT plus AC mu1 by 2 cos 2 pi FC plus FMT plus cos 2 pi FC minus FM1T. Here also guys 1, FM1T. Now we'll go to the other term, AC mu by 2 cos 2 pi FC plus FM2T plus cos 2 pi FC minus FM2T. That's it. Now we'll draw the spectrum directly without writing the Fourier transform. I had told you in the last session also, I will make you learn that how you can directly draw the impulses or the spectrum diagram without actually taking the Fourier transform of this one. Because in GATE, you will not have that much time to first get it translated into the frequency domain and then go and draw the spectrum. So you have to be rather smart and directly put the frequency spectrum diagram. So it's very easy if you follow what I am saying. So this is your spectrum F, and I am prepared to draw the spectrum of S of F. You know that the first term AC cos 2 pi FCT would give you 2 impulses. So you get one impulse at Fc and the mirror image at minus Fc. Good. The second term will give you 2 impulses, each in right and the left. And similarly, we will get another 2 Fc plus Fm2 and Fc minus Fm2. And the mirror image. Bingo. It's not difficult. And you can always write these frequencies as well. Minus Fc plus Fm2, minus Fc plus Fm1, minus Fc minus Fm1, minus Fc minus Fm2. And then the area under the impulses. So this is to anyway AC by 2, AC by 2. This is AC mu1 by 4, same AC mu1 by 4. This is AC mu2 by 4, and same here AC mu2 by 4, AC mu2 by 4, AC mu1 by 4, and AC mu2 by 4. Clear guys? Now why it is getting by 4? Because I told you, once you go into from spectrum, from the time domain equation to spectrum, you again divide by 2. And that is coming from Fourier transform formula of cos 2 pi FCT, which is half delta F minus Fc plus delta F plus Fc. So be careful. If you want to see what is the bandwidth, so bandwidth is from here till there, and you can clearly find what is that. I am writing below. So bandwidth is equal to the highest frequency Fc plus Fm2 minus Fc minus Fm2. So finally the bandwidth is twice Fm2, or you can also call it as twice highest frequency component of massive signal in masses signal. Now we'll do the power calculation, guys. So put the small heading. So this was bandwidth. Now we'll do the power calculation. So PT equal to, we recall it is PC plus P sideband. Carrier power is to still AC square by 2. Okay. Or you want to write in more generic forms, you can write AC square by 2R. But sideband power would be what? It will be AC square mu1 square by 8R. Again AC square mu1 square by 8R. So this is upper sideband, lower sideband. Plus it will be AC square mu2 square by 8R. And it would be AC square mu2 square by 8R. This is because of the second massive signal. This is because of the second massive signal. At the same time, both the sidebands. Right? We can club them. So it will be what? It will be AC square by 2R plus AC square mu1 square by 4R and again AC square mu2 square by 4R. It is mu square only, right? AC square. Okay, I found it. Sorry. Yeah, I saw. Thank you. AC square mu1 square. I got it. That's a typo from my side. Now, PT equal to, take AC square by 2R as common, guys. Same fashion. So it will be what? 1 plus mu1 square by 2, mu2 square by 2. If you recall the last time we did the power calculation, exactly we followed the same procedure. So it will give you PT equal to, you can call it as PC 1 plus mu1 square by 2. It is used to be for single tone modulation. Remember that? For multi-tone, nothing you have to do, you have to just increase the term by another mu2 square. So, in generic, you can also write PT equal to PC 1 plus mu t square by 2, where mu t square is equal to mu1 square, mu2 square, mu3 square, and so on. This power is your sideband power. So still you can use the same funda and get the answer. Okay, clear? So guys, it's a similar question was asking GATE 2016. So can you look at the screen and do this question, guys? S of t is written as 5 cos 1600 pi t plus 20 cos 1800 pi t plus 5 cos 2000 pi t. Plus 5 cos 2000 pi t. This 5 and this 5 gives you an idea that you can club these two. So you can write S of t equal to 20 cos 1800 pi t. Now clubbing these two you can take common and you can write cos 1600 pi t plus cos 2000 pi t. Applying formula of cos c plus cos d, you can write S of t equal to 20 cos 1800 pi t plus 5. Now guys, what is cos C plus D? That you should know, otherwise you can't get this question correct. So cos C plus D is 2 cos C minus D by 2. So 2 cos C minus D is like 600 and 400. So it will be 200 pi t into cos C plus D by 2 means 1800 pi t. Cool. Now you can take cos 1800 pi t as common, and you can also take 20 common, like to get the standard A. So it will be 1 plus 5 by 20 cos 200 pi t into cos 1800 pi t. So guys, this is coming common. Now you clearly see it is 1 by 4. So mu is equal to 1 by 4. Answer is 0.25. Okay, it is 2 cos, na? So, okay, sorry. So 5 into 2 and 5 into 2, 2 cancel. Okay, so it is 0.5. Yeah, your answer is right, guys. Don't worry. It is, I missed 1, 2 here. So it is 5 into 2. Okay, guys. So that is one question. Next question. Okay, for the next question, I have to tell you one simple concept, and then we can take this question. Just hold on. So there's an you can say an empirical formula to calculate mu. So suppose this is your AM signal, and here we have the carrier. Sometimes using CRO you can also find what is the modulation index. How will you do it? Simple. This point is known as V max, and this point is known as V minimum. And we know that maximum amplitude after modulation. So I'm talking about what is the amplitude of the carrier after modulation. You know that? What is that V max? V max would be equal to, I have told you earlier, it is AC1 plus mu. Similarly, V minimum would be AC1 minus mu. If the question has 2200 pi t, then there was no way to get it. I don't know any trigonometric manipulation which could have given you the AM modulation, standard AM modulation scheme. So that was a typo from the paper side. Then I rechecked in the paper, it is not 2200 pi t, it is 2000 pi t. If you have any trigonometric manipulations to still get the standard form, let us know. But I don't think so it could have got. That is the reason it has to a number, certain number. Okay. Now come back here. Now you can, using this, you can write. So let's say this is equation number 1, and let's say this is equation number 2. So solving equation 1 and 2, you can solve but just like dividing. You will get mu equal to V max minus V min upon V max plus V min. Guys, this is the formula. You might have seen earlier also. This is another formula to get mu. Clear? Now guys, you can attempt the question you are seeing on the screen, which is asked in GATE 2014 in set 2 for 1 mark. Can you just check and let me know the answer? So once you have the formula, it is very easy. So solution. So in this question they have given the maximum value of the envelope, which you are seeing, this is the envelope, this outer line is envelope. So maximum value of the envelope is, minimum is 2. So what is mu? 3 minus 1, 3 plus 1, 2 by 4, half. So answer is 0.5. Okay. So you can clearly see that how easy question they ask in last 2-3 years. That is my point when I took the very first session, that if you focus on analog communication and do it very well, so there are like 100% chance that when you get a question from analog communication, you can make it correct. Max 100%, obviously 90% I have seen people getting it correct. Digital sometimes gets tough. So if you are studying analog communication, at least you can score 2 marks here. Minimum, I am saying, minimum. Sometimes it can be 3 marks, but then other question will be from noise or information theory or digital communication, or getting you a kind of coverage of 6 to 10 marks or 8 to 10 marks in communication system. But if they ask you 10 marks from communication system, they will ask at least 4 marks question from analog communication side. So don't miss on any question on analog communication, and you will be able to score 50% or 40% in communication subject. Only focusing on analog. You are getting digital as well, then you are too good, right? Now guys, going further, let's put the heading generation of AM signal. Very important topic. We generate AM by using square law modulator. It's a very widely used device for generating AM signal. Very, very important. Now square law modulator gives you AM signal. How actually it works? Means we'll have a square law modulator, means it's a non-linear device, or you can also call it as a non-linear system. Non-linear system. Because the moment you see square can be linear, right? So square uses a non-linear system. If you open that box, non-linear system box, you will be certainly finding some diodes. Because diodes are those electronic devices, or you can say electronic equipments, right? Components where we can use them as to generate a square law kind of equation. So square means like you must have a signal coming as input. You are making square or cube or something like that. So let me draw the block diagram so that you can get more idea. So you have a massive signal coming, M of t. It goes into a summer. You give this summer another signal, which we'll call it as carrier signal. It is coming from a local oscillator. Carrier signal is simple, AC cos 2 pi FCT. So it goes into the summer, you are adding both of them. And output of summer, we call it as V1T. And then it goes into a non-linear system, NLS. Non-linear system. Output of this goes into a band pass filter. Band pass filter, BPF. I will explain everything. Why do we need a band pass filter? And then you get your B output T as AM signal. So guys, what is the flow? You get a massive signal, you add a carrier signal, you square it, you use a band pass filter, and you get AM signal. Now we'll solve this maths. So let's say this non-linear system is defined as below. So to somehow define, right? Even it is square, but how the equation look like? So I can write V2T, output of non-linear system, is equal to A V1T plus B times V1 square. square. Okay? And where A and B are constants. A and B are constants. So B to T I can write as equal to A times M of T plus AC cos 2 pi FCT plus similarly B into square means guys M square T because you have to square the V1T. What is V1T? Guys, V1T is the summation of these two signals. Don't forget that. So it is M of T plus AC cos 2 pi FCT. Now what is V1 square T? You have to square it. So square means M1 M square T plus AC square cos square 2 pi FCT plus 2 MT AC cos 2 pi. So if I want to simplify more, it will become V to T equal to, so it will become what? A M of T plus A AC cos 2 pi FCT plus, I'm just expanding it more, B M square T plus B AC square M of T cos square, B AC square cos square 2 pi FCT plus 2 AC B M of T B M of T AC twice cos 2 pi FCT. Now we have to do some assumption, guys. First assumption is that assume, I'm writing just below that, we have to assume some carrier frequency, right? So here carrier frequency is 1 megahertz. 1 megahertz is equivalent to 1000 kilohertz. Okay, 1000 kilohertz. And the band pass filter frequency range is from 990 to 1010 kilohertz, and that's it. So this is your band pass filter ka pass band. Okay, keep in mind. So it is just from 990 to 1010. That's it. So 20 kilohertz ka bandwidth is of the band pass filter. Okay. Guys, intentionally I have not cleaned band pass filter block because you need to understand. See, there are two ways to use this and find the output. First, you go and transform it into frequency domain. Means take Fourier transform and get it into frequency domain. Then go and use a band pass filter and then get the output. And again convert back into time domain signal to get the AM signal. But that is like that is stupid. Because you should not be doing like this, given the fact that you are sitting in the gate examination, you have just got 2-3 minutes. Okay, so what should I do? I have told you how to get frequency from the time domain signal directly. So use what I am telling you and you are in a safer position. So let me rewrite that equation. V to T equal to A times M of T plus AAC cos 2 pi FCT plus BM square T plus BAC square cos square 2 pi FCT plus 2BAC MT cos 2 pi FCT. Okay. Now we know that MT. So if you just see that M of T, M of T is our own ideal thing. So M of T spectrum is something like this. right? 10 kilohertz minus 10 kilohertz. If you recall, I told you that generally in our course we'll always follow this. M of f is a triangular shape. Okay. Now what will happen? You know that how the frequency will look like. So let me write m of t is having a center frequency at 0. So anyway it is from 0 to 10. So actually it is minus 10 to 10. Correct? What about this? This is a carrier frequency. So it is 1000 kilohertz. Right? Look at this frequency. What about this? If you do m square, it will become from minus 20 to 20 kilohertz. Guys, I am writing the frequency range of each and every term of this equation. So m square t, guys, m square t is a little different side from signal system, because m square t is what? Multiplication of m of t into m of t in time domain. And if you have studied signal system properly, if you multiply two signals m of t into m of t, it's like looking at convolution in the frequency domain, which is m of f convolution with another m of f divided by if it is omega, then divided by 2 pi, otherwise it is just m of f convolution m of f. So that's why it gives you minus 20 to 20. Now come on this term. Yeah, this is a term. You can write it as, again, you know, this term is very common for us now. You can write it as BAC square by 2, 1 plus cos 4 pi FCT. Now guys, we know that this will give us what frequency? Twice FC. Means it will give us what? 2000 kilohertz, and this will give us 0 hertz. Have a look. This will give us 0 hertz, this will give us 2000 kilohertz. Okay, just so far good. What about this one? So this will give, so MT is from minus 10 to 10 and carrier is 1000 kilohertz. Now it will shift in the right, shift in the left. So actually we're getting something like this. 990 to 1010 kilohertz. You can simply subtract this and you can simply, same thing, add. You will reach here. Now let me know everybody is okay with the frequency component I have written there. I have not taken any Fourier transform. Still you can see all the frequency component out of it. That's the smartness you are going to learn in this class. Come on guys. Are you good? Now we show you the beauty. This band pass filter is saying that I will only pass. So let me show you the band pass filter. Otherwise, how will you understand? So guys, this band pass filter is looking like this. And it's an ideal band pass filter, okay? For the time being. So this is your band pass filter. 990 to 1010. And its mirror image will be here, something like this. Minus 990 to 1010. And the unit is in kilohertz. This is your what filter? Pass band, stop band, stop band. This is your band pass filter. Stop band, and this is your pass band. Guys, this is your ideal band pass filter. Now this ideal band pass filter would do what? Just have a look. This ideal band pass filter will kill the term which you don't need. So minus 10 to 10, it will not be passed. So this is gone. This is gone. 1000 kilohertz is here, right? 1000. And this is minus 1000. So it will pass, gone. 2000 kilohertz, gone. 0 hertz, gone. Minus 990 to 1010, it's there, it will be passed. So what is the final output of the band pass filter, guys? So it is V output T is equal to, what is that? AAC cos 2 pi FCT plus 2BAC M of T cos 2 pi FCT. That's it, guys. If we further simplify it and try to convert into standard AM signal, it will look so nice. Just let me write. Just hold on. So it is V output T, take AAC common, so it will become 1 plus 2B by A M of T cos 2 pi FCT. Look at it. This is what we are trying to get, right? So you can say that AC dash is equal to A times AC. Okay? And this is your mu is what? Mu is 2B by A. Actually, sorry, not mu. This is K. You have 1 plus K MT, right? And if you take MT out of MT AM, then it becomes mu. So K dash is equal to 2B by A. K dash is equal to 2B by A, and K dash is known as amplitude sensitivity of square law modulator. The ideal bandpass filter is when you have a cutoff frequency, a smooth one. So I can draw and then you can understand. See, if I have to draw an ideal bandpass filter, I will draw like this. So this is ideal, but practical will be something like this. So why this is a practical bandpass filter? Because the cutoff frequency is not smooth, like directly it is coming down. Can you see that? But actually it is coming down here something like this. So practical bandpass filter is not smooth, and because of that, suppose you wanted only frequency till here 1010, right? In ideal you get only till 1010. You will not get what is at 1000, let's say 20. You will not get this part. But in practical, if you look, you will get this, that not too completely, but you will also take out something from this region. That's why practical bandpass filter is little troublesome for us. Clear? And how will you realize an ideal bandpass filter? No way to do that. How will you realize a practical bandpass filter? You must be taught in analog integrated circuits. So use certain, electronic components to achieve that. Don't worry. If you have not been taught, you will be taught. Now, how does the circuit of a typical square law modulator look like? Circuit of a typical square law modulator. Generally, I don't do this, but let me show you one circuit for analog integrated circuit. How does it look like? So what you will do, right? You will have an AC signal, right? This will be your M of T. You will have another signal. Let me write here. And then you have a diode and a resistance R. This is plus minus plus minus. So guys, this is the same thing, MT plus AC cos 2 pi FCT. Okay. And then it goes into a, a capacitor, and it goes into a coil like this. And finally the output is measured across the resistance R. So this is the output T. This was, guys, V1T. This is yours V2T. Or I can also write it as here V2T. Clear? So if you look at our block diagram and try to compare with this, so what is this is happening? This is just like a summer. So this part is doing the summer. It acts. This is like your non-linear system, this block, and that's why you get V2T. And this is your band pass filter tuned to FC. Look at the beauty of this circuit. It's a conventional, typical square law modulator. You can see and draw it. Generally in communication system, we don't go and show like this. Rather what we do, we put some certain blocks and just say that, okay, this is non-linear device, this is band pass filter, and do the job. Since Swati asked how does an ideal band pass filter work, so I thought let's give you this as well. So interesting, right? You can call it as resistance 1 and resistance R1 and R2, but that's okay.